Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just So. I am playing Celeste, or at least I would be playing Celeste if OBS didn't, for some kind of reason, use my capture card as a microphone, so I basically had no commentary for the first two videos and a couple of minutes of the third video. But today I'm gonna be doing post-commentary on Chapter 9. Farewell. I'm saying something, probably. This is gonna be very weird, but at the same time, I don't care. I'm at least happy that I can do something like this. Granny, I can't believe you're gone, you old bat. Well, I guess I can. It sounded like you were saying goodbye in the last letter you sent me. This isn't fair. I need you. You didn't prepare me for any of this. What do you want her to do? Apologize? She's gone. And you didn't even go to the funeral. I know, I just couldn't. I fell apart. I'm so sorry, Granny. Sorry won't bring her back. You're right. It was selfish of me to come here. And thus, we follow the bird by taking this beautiful path on the clouds. This is so weird. Well, a little bit weird. Where are we going, Madeline? We have to follow that bird. It's part of Granny, just like you're part of me. I thought it was just her pet or something. It has to be more than that. That bird was always looking out for me on the mountain, just like Granny did. Madeline, I hate to say it, but you're in denial. It's just a bird. Just shut up and help me for once, okay? Welcome to space! We're really high up. The mountain looks like a mole here from here. We should really turn back. We don't have time to argue about this. How are you even breathing up here? Granny wants us to follow her. We can't let her down again. It's a bird, Madeline. Granny is gone. You really think it's just a regular bird? It's part of her, and it's still here somehow. Maybe there's a way to bring her back. I have to do something. I can't help you with this. Then leave. Don't worry, Granny. I won't lose you. Alright, and thus we have reached space. With a little bit of I guess moving blocks in a certain way. It's very interesting. Now, at a certain point, I was thinking of maybe doing the things that I have done again. Basically re-recording the beginning of this chapter. But I don't know, man. I don't think I want to burn myself out too much on the gameplay. It was already hard enough to get to the point that I noticed that, you know, my commentary was gone. Or didn't exist, basically. Also, in this particular stage, you have these double crystals over here. Since you don't have Badline's help, you now have these double crystals which will give you a double dash, basically. I will probably be skipping a little bit through this video, just to make things a little bit more smooth, I suppose. In general, this is a very weird thing for me to do, but whatever. I don't care too much about it. I'm at least, like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm at least happy that I can still do something like this. This stage is also ridiculously hard, by the way, just so you know. Yeah, do not underestimate this freaking stage, because it's gonna wreck your face. At first, I think the first time I played the stage, I was like, okay, this is probably just gonna be like a normal chapter. And yeah, I was wrong. I was so wrong. You don't even know how wrong I was. I still really like the stage, though. At least recently, I've found a new fondness of the stage. It's ridiculously hard at some points, but it is still fun. I was also originally thinking about maybe doing some doing something special with this, where I would basically edit the what's it called? Basically edit the original video file up to a point that I would basically cut out all the deaths and then you have like a smooth progression to through the stage. But unfortunately enough for me, the way that I usually edit is like when I don't really want something to be shown, I don't talk. That's what I usually do. But since there's no freaking, you know, commentary in these videos, it means that I would basically have to go through, like painstakingly go through every single moment of this episode, looking for the points where I actually made it through a screen. Now, back in the day, that wouldn't be an issue if I was, like back in the day when I was still recording 720p. That wouldn't be an issue because I can edit in 720p without any issue really. But once I go to 1080p, my processor of my laptop is not strong enough to be able to deal with that, I would say. And yeah, it wouldn't work basically. I could still do it, but it would be ridiculously difficult because the screen, or like the what's it called? I don't know the name of the screen. Whatever, the video in any case would lag like crazy. So looking for, like skimming through a video, looking for when I might actually be done with a certain room would take a metric crapload of time. That I am, to be quite honest, not in the mood for spending on it. It is a little bit unfortunate, but at the same time, all the rest of this playthrough has been going perfectly, and now I also know that this is an issue that can happen. Which is, in my opinion, also a pretty important thing. Because it means that I'm now going to be paying a lot more attention to whether or not OBS is using my microphone. Such a weird thing. I should have noticed it earlier though. Because I did see the audio peak quite a lot. But I was just thinking that I was way too loud or something, but my audio can peak every now and then, but it doesn't normally peak as much as I basically saw in the corner of my eye. I should have just been, you know, a smarter human being and actually taken a look at that. But this is something that just happens. Sometimes I'm just so in the mood to make videos that I don't really pay attention to everything as I should, really. You really should look at everything when you're making videos if you don't want anything to go wrong, but, well, yeah. I didn't do that, and it cost me my my commentary. Which is very unfortunate, because I gotta say, I had a lot of fun with just this game in general. A lot more fun than I originally had, I would say. But it's still a ridiculously hard stage, so I don't want to do it again if I don't have to. I can guarantee you. Even though I'm pretty sure that I could probably get through this a little bit quicker now. I did manage to do some pretty difficult stuff in this stage. With relative ease, really. But I feel like that's the thing for this entire playthrough. The game has not been as hard as it was in the original playthrough. Which makes a ridiculous amount of sense though, because now I know how to do rooms. Well, back in the day I did not. I've also totally ignored them, but you have these fish over here. I kind of want to explain how they work. You can jump on their head to lower them or to bounce them into springs. And then, depending on which side of the fish you are, they will explode and launch you in set direction. So they can do stuff like this over here. And then I would have to hit it again to bring it lower again, and then you basically have to like escort to this fish to through most of this level, I think, or most of this screen. Also, the music is in the beginning it's not too amazing, but it gets a lot better, trust me. I still think it's fine though, it's just more mysterious and more weird. But it gets really good. And that, my friends, is all the commentary that I have for today. That was something that I was thinking at some point, just being like, nah, I don't need commentary for this, but that would kind of That would kind of get rid of, you know, the entire playthrough, or like the entire idea of Just Fred. Releasing videos without commentary would not be my cup of tea. I definitely could have, but no. Now I'm sitting here watching my own videos, or my own gameplay. But I think it's fine though. It is also very interesting to analyze my gameplay, basically. That is something that I always like doing. In a certain way. Just to see how... Just to see how good I really am. Or how bad, really. It depends on which game I play. I'm not gonna be... How should I say this? I'm not going to be cocky about it, but I'm also not gonna deny the fact that I do have some skill in a lot of the games that I play. I'm not bad at gaming, usually in any case. I can be, of course, just like everybody can be, in my opinion, but I wouldn't say that I'm particularly really good or really bad. And that's all I think I need to say about that. And now we get introduced into this, like, one of the biggest mechanics in this freaking stage. The jellyfish. It's basically a parachute. You can make it so that you descend faster or ascend faster. I'm sorry, descend faster or descend slower, depending on if you're using, like, depending on if you're pressing the D-pad button up or down. Or the control stick, whatever. And as you can see, you can also do other things, like you can dash into it and grab it and give it a little bit of a boost. You can do it diagonally and also vertically. At some point you will see how it works with the vertical movement. When you do it vertically, you will basically gain a lot more height from it. At the moment they don't really want you to do that, but I think that's yeah, there we go. That's the perfect example of what you needed to do. Alright. Follow that burb. At least that's what I would like to say, but unfortunately enough, we now have to deal with a lot of locks. No, this room. Why do we need a crystal? Yeah, I remember that. The really nice thing, however, is that at least at this point of the stage, I don't really get ridiculously stuck in rooms. So that makes this a lot easier to do, I would say. We're still missing something, I think. Right, I need to double dash over here, right? Or maybe not. Maybe not. I think we need to double dash over there. And past me is trying to figure it out. Yes, people, you're now listening to the legendary... the legendary future me. I do remember missing... basically forgetting that I unlocked the door, which allows me to get a double dash in the big room. And then you just basically run over to the other side with the double dash. There we go. Ba-ba-ba-bum. And then initially I thought, like, wait, I don't need anything over there. But then I remembered that you can carry the jellyfish over to the other screen. Now we can glide our way through these electric things. As you might have also noticed, the jellyfish do die when they reach these, like, shiny things. Bum. I tried to do a little bit of a trick with the jellyfish, but that's unnecessary. You don't need a jellyfish. Like, you only need a jellyfish to get up there with both of your dashes, and then you can just reach that, that electricity box, or whatever hell it's called in English. I don't know. There we go. And then we hit it twice. And the electricity is gone. And now we can go and gather ourselves some keys while the game is going to teach us how to use the jellyfish. So you can throw them through the spikes like that, and then use a double dash and grab it again, and then get the key. I feel like all these rooms teach you another little aspect of what you can do with the jellyfish. As you can see, you can use the diagonal ones to gain a lot of distance. That's me seeing if there's any secrets down there, which there weren't. I've only just noticed that those locks are alive. They have like blinking eyes. That's interesting. Decided to take the jellyfish with me, but there's not really like you don't need to take this thing with you because there's another one over here. And thus I threw one of them into the pits. Another thing you can do is there's a switch over there behind some spikes, and you can also throw the jellyfish against those. This is basically the game teaching you another thing where you can throw them against the wall and then dash upwards and give yourself a boost and then continue going. As long as you have a dash, of course. That's a mechanic that's gonna get used quite a lot later on in the stage. I'm also really happy that I've noticed this, like, at least somewhere halfway through this chapter, instead of, you know, finishing this chapter and then being like, oh, I don't have any commentary. Basically like the entire Donkey Kong Country 2 Let's Play, where at the end of the game I just noticed, oh, I don't have any commentary. Bullshit. That was pretty dang bad. That might be another thing I want to redo at some point. But I'm not sure though. This was one that I really wanted to redo. I saw gameplay of this game and I was like, you know what? Screw it. Actually, no, wait, no. I think I was talking about something with my mother at some point. And then I got the idea to go and watch my original playthrough of this. And then I was like, you know what? I want to play this game again, and I want to make a better Let's Play. And thus, that is what I did. Now you know the whole story, people. Of the entire story of Just Red. No, not really. That might be a thing to explain for another day. I was at some point also thinking about making a channel introduction video to put on the front page. Might be another thing I can do today, if I feel like it. But I kind of need to think how I'm gonna do that, because I have no idea. And I'm also not sure which direction the channel is gonna go to. I'm not 100% sure if co-op shenanigans is gonna happen still. Because of reasons, really. Me and my co-op partner, I suppose you can call it. We both have our own lives, and I really like making videos. He probably also does too, a little bit. But he also has other things in life happening, so I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm just going to continue making videos for Just Red. And welcome to the next part of the stage, with definitely one of my favorite songs in the game. I absolutely love this song. When you go from like the dark, weird atmosphere of the beginning of the stage to this, that is such a... oh, such a relief, really. As you can see, the thing I did with this first fish over here is a very close maneuver, basically. As long as you're on one of its sides, they will launch you to that other side. They won't. They're not like the bumpers where they launch you in the direction that you hit them in, like in the opposite direction than you hit them in. These ones will just launch you either left, right, down, and that's it. And over here we get to do some jellyfish escorting. How long are we into the video? Like halfway, yeah. I do like with this song particularly, I do like that it sounds very beautiful, but then it also still has like that undertone of like something's not right in a certain way, you know? Oh wow, I still had a dash, I didn't even notice that. I do think I'm gonna skip a little bit forward over here. Because I seem to remember taking quite some time getting through this room. Oh boy, this is another room. Give me a moment. There we go. It's gonna be a little bit like this, but whatever. I have to wait for the jellyfish, grab it again, and there we go. And then we dash straight into the spikes. Let me go and whoopsie. That's the wrong thing. There we go. I seem to remember spending some time on this one also. Yeah, I kept on doing the diagonal dashing over there. So the thing you have to do is do basically the thing that you're seeing right now, but at the end do a horizontal dash instead of a diagonal dash, which I constantly did. There's also a telescope over here, but I don't need that. Now we get to use the diagonal dashing with the jellyfish to get through this part. Get a dash back and then fly into the spikes like a dangus. There we go. Now this one, I seem to remember this one being a little bit of an issue. As I try so hard and got so far. But in the end, I just died. Let's see. I think I did like a diagonal one. Okay, made it to the next room. Let's see. So this is the successful attempt. Yeah, that was a really close one. I've just noticed something else actually. You can activate those switches, by the way, with the jellyfish if you want to. So the thing I could have technically done was, I think it's actually the way you were supposed to do it. You could have thrown the jellyfish. Oh, let me go and show this off for a moment. Another way that you could have dealt with this, if I go over to this room. So the thing you could have done is, while you were gliding down here, you could release the jellyfish around here. The jellyfish would then float over here, hit this thing, and then you could use this spring and the dash that you would still have at that point to get over here. So that is another thing that you could have done, technically. Wow. That was a maneuver and a half. So over here they once again expect you to throw the jellyfish against the switches, activate them, jump against the wall, do a dash upwards, and ascend ever higher with your jellyfish. A jellyfish-chan. Or something stupid like that. There we go. Look at him go. Okay, now this one I also seem to remember struggling a bit with. I'm gonna go fast forward for a bit. Let's go and try again. Yeah, I was stuck on this one for a while. Okay, over here is the successful one. I cannot speak. I'm sorry. This is very weird for me in a certain way. And when I'm used to talking to myself, I'm not used to talking to myself without playing a game, really. And there we go. That's how we do that. And then this one, yeah, right. So the thing that they kind of expect you to do over here is something very interesting, actually. So I did this, which is not the way that you're supposed to do it. But I tried nonetheless. So the thing you're supposed to do is launch that thing over to the right, and then bounce the fish downwards to the point that that thing will push the fish to the left, and then you kind of need that platform to be on the right side, so you can dash up against it and use the spring to bring yourself to the wall. It's a little bit of a complicated one, but yeah, instead of doing a diagonal one, you would then do a vertical dash. I think this is the way that I'm gonna approach this, just to kind of, in a certain weird way, give a walkthrough of this game. it wouldn't be a bad thing to do, really. I think a lot of people have struggled with... Well, I think a lot of people have struggled with, and will still struggle with Celeste. Especially Chapter 9. Chapter 9 does not pull any punches. It is there to kill you. Okay, I'm also gonna fast forward this one because I remember doing that a lot. So there's two ways that you can do this. You can either go to the left and then dash around the fish, or you can do it like the way that I did it over here. Which is basically dash into it, make it explode, and then dash again, and then wait for it to respawn, and then launch yourself again. And then over here, you once again have to escort to this fish over to a certain place. So you have to dash at the opportune moment. A little bit earlier than you would expect, I think. That's what I would use as your timing. Right, reach a new part of the stage with new music. We also get to use the jellyfish soup. I seem to remember this one being an issue also. Not bad. Okay. So the successful attempt is around here somewhere. So you throw the jellyfish, go upwards, get a gem, throw the jellyfish again, miss. But that is the way that you're supposed to do it though. So you throw jellyfish over here, bounce, get it again, bounce again, then use these two bounces and get your jellyfish again. Yeah. They use these jellyfishes a lot and in very jerkish situations, I would say. Now, why do I remember this one being an issue also? Well, I think it's because every single one that uses a block like this has been an issue for me in this stage. And there's quite a lot of them, so... As you can see, you are supposed to bounce the fish onto the spring, which will then allow the fish to be high enough to the point that you can use it to fly over the spikes. Let me go fast forward just for a bit, because I remember getting stuck on this for a while, as you can quite clearly see. Let's see. So go over there, grab it on the side, then do something like this, and then dash into the spikes. Let's see. Is this a successful attempt? Yep, there we go. It's a very tight timing. And this room is also a bit of an issue. So the thing you're supposed to do is throw the jellyfish on top of this block, because you need to take it with you. Then go down there, dash double right there. Then over here. Then you get your double dashes. And then you get the jellyfish. And you use one of the dashes to continue going. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, the things that they require you to do. Empty space! Wait, no. This can't be the end. Granny is still out there somewhere. Which means I need to keep going. And this, my friends, is where I'm going to end of this episode. So, hope you enjoyed this episode of Just I was playing, or at least post-commentating over Celeste. And next episode we're going to go and continue with Chapter 9. Goodbye.